Welcome to the Brad and Taylor Show. Today we have Jake Farr.
You're listening to The Brad and Taylor Show, a podcast that inspires entrepreneurs to pursue their passions. We're sitting down with some of the best to learn how they got started and some lessons they learned along the way.
Hey, Jake.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going very well. How are you guys?
We're doing good. We're doing good. Well, let's get the show started. Tell us a little bit about you. Like, what do you actually do?
Well, I am an associate realtor at Bellabay Realty. Our main office is in Caledonia, Michigan, west side of the state. Been a licensed agent since like 2016, I think. In addition to that, I am also the team lead for the Bellabay home team and the Bellabay flex team.
Nice. That's awesome. So when you were younger, is this what you're planning for your future?
No.
What'd you have planned?
Had no idea that this would end up being my path, but I wouldn't want to do anything different. I think growing up, I always wanted to be an actor, like move out to California, and, or an artist in some way, shape, or form. So, I mean, you got, the video equipment behind me. So, I can still kind of get my acting going on a little bit in some of my social media stuff. So,
yeah,
I was just going to say that too. You do videos, right? So you can still kind of do that with that video.
That's right. That's right.
Awesome. So what did you do before real estate?
Before real estate, had all sorts of sales jobs growing up, did fairly well. Eventually, kind of became a self-employed entrepreneur, if you will, just kind of buying and selling, fixing up, anything really, from appliances to motorcycles to cars to travel trailers. I even refurbed a shipping container one time and sold it.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. And so that kind of led into my career as investing in real estate, which led into me being licensed.
Nice.
Okay, so you started investing before you got licensed. How did that kind of go for you? Were you flipping homes for like rentals, or what were you doing with that?
Yeah. So if you've ever seen like the commercials or the ads or whatever for, come be a real estate investor, come check out this program for a weekend, blah, blah, blah. And then, they hit you up for thousands and thousands of dollars, right? I did that.
Hey, you learned somehow, right?
That's kind of, my brother and I, we were going to partner up, as real estate investors, and he ended up going a different way. And so I had about $50K in credit card debt for all of these, this real estate knowledge that I acquired. Right. And it took me about a year, but I finally did my first real estate deal. So I'm from Lansing, Michigan originally. So that's where I started. I made a cash offer on a $36,000 house, and my offer got accepted. The only problem with that was I didn't have the cash.
Oh.
So I had 10 days to put it all together. And miraculously, I did. I found a co-investor. He put up all the money. I did all the work. And about 4 months later, we sold it for a profit. So that was my first deal. Consequently, that was my first deal that I listed with a real estate agent, and that's why I got licensed. I had about the worst experience you could ever have with a real estate agent. I'm like, why am I going to pay this guy to do it when I could do it better? So eventually I got licensed and found out that I enjoyed brokering the deals more than actually working on the property. So I don't do flips or wholesale deals anymore. I just, help folks buy and sell residentially, retail.
Okay. Nice. When you first got into the opposite side, not the investment side, but doing like the homes for sale and everything with the sellers and the buyers, how did your first transaction go on that side of it?
Trying to think, what was my first transaction? I think my first sale, retail was, I think it was actually my grandfather's home. Grandma had passed on, and he had moved into an assisted living facility. And so, I didn't have to work too hard to get that listing. Yeah, it went okay. And from there, it was definitely a learning experience. Fortunately, it was nice, working with my grandpa in that regard, him being the seller. So
Yeah.
that definitely helped me out a bit. But yeah, we sold that one fairly quickly, and got a price for it that everybody was happy with. And then, moving on from there, it was kind of slow going for the first few months. I got a referral from a lender buddy I met that actually he did the loan on that first deal that I was talking about. And so he and I kind of hit it off, and I got licensed, obviously. And so he ended up sending me a buyer to work with. And so I did a deal there. And
Okay.
my third transaction, my wife and we were engaged actually, we were not even engaged yet. We were moving from Lansing to Grand Rapids. And so because I had just started a new business, right? I can't claim my income to qualify for a mortgage. So we bought a house in her name. And so I got, that was good practice for me as well. Fortunately, my wife's pretty easygoing. So yeah, funny story on that one. The market, in Grand Rapids has been hot for quite some time. So this was, this would have been 2017, I think at the time, or late 2016. And so she didn't have a chance to see the house. We were able to make an offer, get it accepted for us, sight unseen. And so later that week, I brought her and her mother and grandmother out to finally see the house in person. And then during that, while we were there at the house, that's when I actually proposed to her. So fortunately, she said yes.
Oh, that's nice. And then you guys end up moving in there, and
Yep.
oh,
And
that's
so that essentially started my real estate career
yeah.
in Grand Rapids. So
That's
Nice.
exciting. So when did you start doing the videos? I see your setup behind you. When did you kind of start doing that side of everything?
Last year,
Okay.
I think obviously everybody should be doing video in their business, right? Trying to get as much exposure and whatnot. And I know a lot of people kind of have issues with putting themselves out there. Like a lot of people like to post, pictures, whatever. But motion creates emotion. So, let's get something they can interact with, and something that kind of grabs their attention a bit more. So yeah, and the stuff that I put out, it's pretty simple. I just want to keep everybody informed and updated, kind of what's going on in Grand Rapids and Kent County as a whole. I do little neighborhood videos too. So I'll just kind of go drive around some of my favorite neighborhoods and, take some videos of some of the cool houses, or maybe the park, or some of the other businesses that are around there, try to showcase the different parts of Grand Rapids. And it's just a fun little thing to do.
Yeah, that's awesome. When you first started the videos, were you doing them live, or were you kind of
Oh, heck
pre-recording?
no.
No? That sets the bar a little differently, because I know
Yeah.
videos in general, when you first start doing them, it's nerve-wracking, right?
Yeah.
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 And then
Yeah.
live is
No,
a
I
whole
like
nother
to,
thing.
I've got a fairly basic, but it works pretty well, a video editing program. So,
Okay.
it's not like top of the line stuff or anything, but yeah, I like to, kind of plan it out, kind of put together, like I did go to film school for a little while. So I've got that going for me at least. So just trying to, kind of create, a plan for it, go get the shots that I want, then I'll upload them, chop them up a little bit, make some different cuts and transitions, right? And find some decent music, put a little title, and try and make it decent, So I'm not much for like hitting Facebook Live and just going. So,
Yeah, no, me neither. I wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
Especially because when you stumble over your words, that's it. It's posted.
Yep.
It's there.
Yep.
Done.
Well, and that's the thing too, is that, even when, because I have like a video teleprompter and all that, it's like, even still, when I make a mistake there, it's not a huge deal to me, because I mean, we're human, right? We all fumble over our words from time to time, and I'm not trying to be perfect. I just need to be me and do what I do,
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. When you first started out in real estate, is there any advice that maybe you'd gotten that has just stuck with you throughout the years?
Um, for me, as far as advice, pertaining to real estate, is I work with a lot of buyers. So that's what we do here. As far as the team that I run, we get inquiries from like major websites. If you're online looking at a house and you click the button for more info, well, that comes to us and we reach out to you and
Okay.
help you. And I don't need to spend a lot of time on the phone with somebody asking about, are you pre-qualified? What's going on? Where's all this? Let's just go see the house. Let's meet up in person. If you like the house, wonderful. If not, that's okay. Like it, I learned a long time ago, give everybody a shot, give everybody a free one. So everybody gets a free showing, right? Let's go meet. What's the worst that's going to happen, right? I mean, we do hear about horror stories in real estate, so we do it safely. But let's what's the harm in meeting somebody new and starting trying to develop that relationship, right? So go meet up with them in person. And at that point, we're all better in person than we are over the phone anyway. So give everybody a shot, don't judge a book by its cover, and give everybody a free one.
I know you mentioned the horror stories in real estate. What's the worst property you've been to? I'm sure you've seen a few.
So I've been to a few. So I was working with an investor client out of New Jersey, and we were buying several properties, building up a portfolio here in Grand Rapids, great rental market, obviously. And we went, and I went and viewed this property for him, because he's out of state. So I go and check it out. It's a disaster. It needs to be gutted down to the studs. But so we end up making an offer and get it under contract. And as all this is happening, over the next day, I noticed my ankles are really itchy.
Oh,
yeah, I got fleas.
Oh, wow.
I got fleas from that house, and subsequently my house got fleas from me getting fleas from that house.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, my inspector that I work with, I sent him over there. He got lucky. He didn't get fleas, but, long story short, we ended up, we ended up getting out of that deal because it was too much to deal with. But another one, it was, almost burnt to the ground. The entire roof had caved in. So you walk in and it's, rain and roof and so.
Wow.
Yeah.
That probably wasn't safe to walk in, right?
No, it definitely posted enter at your own risk. Yeah. So that client, he didn't buy that house.
I was just going to ask, did that one go through? No.
Nope. It did sell though. It did sell for over asking price. Yeah.
I like it.
Going forward with the rest of this year and into the next year, do you have any goals that you want to accomplish?
Yeah. Going forward this year, I just want to continue to help as many folks out here buy and sell. It's a great time for both sellers and for buyers, just because sellers are getting top dollar for their properties, but buyers, the incredibly low interest rates are phenomenal right now. So, and also to continue we get a lot of new agents that come to Bellabay that are either, didn't work out at another brokerage or are brand new to the business. So I really enjoy taking these newer agents and kind of taking them from square one, just learning about real estate in general, how the transaction process works, and just getting them going and getting them out in the field working with clients. So that's a big part of what I do here is working with, I got several new agents. I've got a guy that's been on my team for a month, and he just got his 4th deal under contract for a client. Wow. So we move pretty quick. So to continue to grow this team, and Bellabay Realty has been growing by leaps and bounds over the last few years. We're going to continue to do so. So my goal is just to continue to be a part of that and try and take over all of West Michigan.
Nice. When you are kind of going through the process of the new hires with your company, when you guys get new agents on, what is one piece of advice that you could give to a new agent?
I know this market's kind of piece of advice that I got years ago from a previous mentor in a different field was, if you're thinking it, say it. So obviously you got to manage your words, right? You got to have a filter in between there, right? You got to figure out how to say it properly so you get the effect that you want, but don't hold back. I think a lot of people, they're timid, they're nervous, they're in a new field, they're not used to it yet. Once you gain a little bit more experience, obviously that goes away to a certain extent. But, sometimes you have to have that get real conversations with your clients, because some folks, they don't know what's happening in the market right now. And as a professional, we need to be able to have those tough conversations. So if you're thinking it, you better talk about it.
Keep the filter on, but say it.
Yeah, keep that filter on, but say it.
I like it. Do
you have any business books you could recommend to anybody new on your team as well?
There's a ton of good ones out there. I've got an extensive library in my phone, because who buys actual books these days?
Audiobooks.
So a really good book that I have is Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. If you guys are familiar with him, ex-FBI lead hostage negotiator. I actually had the pleasure of seeing him speak a couple years ago at a Tom Ferry event. But yeah, that's a great book. If anybody's watching this and you haven't read that book or know anything about it, definitely check it out, because it's basically how to get your way, but make everybody happy at the same time. So that's really important. Is, obviously in this business, we have to do the best for our clients, but we have to treat everybody fairly. It's our duty,
Yeah.
It's our responsibility to do that. And I think the way he goes about it and, the different situations that he expresses in that book, it's definitely worth the read. And I've read it probably 2 or 3 times. So.
Sweet.
Awesome. Before we go today, is there anything else you want to share with everybody?
Well, if you're seeing this and you're just getting into real estate, give me a call, because we are definitely one of the premier teams out here in West Michigan. So yeah, 616-333-9262. Even if you're not licensed yet, or if you are licensed, you want to have a conversation and learn more about what it takes. We have a program here that is 100 days to 100K. So basically what we do is we put you in our training program that gets you operating at a level that your first year in real estate, you're going to gross over 100K in commission.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. Is that the same number that potential buyers and sellers can contact you on as well?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. 616-333-9262. Check me out on the social medias too. Your Realtor Jake Farr on Facebook and Fake Jar on Instagram.
Sweet. I like it. Hey, thanks for coming on and sharing your story with us today.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Are these working?
All right.
Here we go.
Oh, there we go. I think that worked. Should we tell them?
Mine keeps falling. It doesn't like my voice.
What do we got to tell them?
Subscribe.
Subscribe. What do we got to point at it? Hey, I think there's a subscription button. Like,
It might be there.
it might be right there too.
Somewhere.
Somewhere.
Find it. It's red.
Yeah. And it's
Red.
blue. It's green. I don't really know.
It's a color.
This mic isn't even attached. Did you plug these in? Well, I guess,
I wonder if they can hear us.
yeah. I wonder if they hear us. Well, we should probably tell them if they can hear us. We should probably tell them also give us a 5-star review if they're listening on Apple. That'd be cool.
5
5-star
stars,
review.
guys.
Share it with everybody they can think of.
We won't take
But-
4 stars.
I mean, Taylor, I don't even think these are on. I mean,
No, I don't think this is working.
This is not working.
Yeah.